Well, hey guys, Mason here, and today we're going to go over the evolution of my camera gear. Some of the things that I have kept, lost, don't use anymore, where we started and where we've ended up. So let's have a look. So the first video I ever recorded was on this little old Canon. It was a PowerShot SD750, took pictures and video. The screen's so blistered you can hardly see through it anymore. But that was the first camera that I used to make the first video, which was a list of some of the mods I had done to the KLR over the winter. Basically for Melon 1, but he asked me to post it up on YouTube so he could watch it easier, and I did that, and that honestly was the beginning. So this camera may have done 2 or 3 other videos as it progressed, but very quickly found that there was no way I was strapping that to a helmet if I wanted to ride and film. So that led me to the next camera that I purchased, which was this Sony Action Cam. And this is an HDR AS20. Now that was my go-to camera for quite a while. I was able to get it on sale somewhere, so it wasn't too bad to get into, but then I had to buy the mounts, this, and then we realized that video on its own wasn't very good and we needed some audio, so the camera had to be able to record. And where this one plugs in is right where the clasp is on this, so I ended up buying these skeleton cases, routering them out, changing them a little bit, but at least on the bottom I used to be able to plug in the microphone. So that worked really well. Now after this one, I bought an AS50, which was a really nice little camera. It had image stabilization, and it really was an excellent action cam, but eventually it fell off and I lost it. So this is the first of the old ones. My next purchase was a 4K Sony Action Cam. After I lost the better version of this, I spent the money and bought myself the FDR X3000 from Sony. Now it's the 4K camera. It is fantastic. The biggest thing about me switching to this was that I had to change all my mounts and the cases. It doesn't fit in these, so those were all retired and new ones were purchased for this camera. Worked really well. I used a lot of the video you guys saw was filmed on this one with this as the camera on the side, or any of the other views was done on this poor old thing. After that, Melon purchased one, so we were able to have the 2 cameras for the dual vlog. And then later in the season I purchased another one to get the quality of this up. So if I was riding by myself, I was vlogging into this one. This one was the one on the bike showing the opposite views. Or if we were riding in a group, this could be on Benham or Shooter. And with Melons, we could have the 3-way vlog that worked so well in our last trip. Now later this season I purchased another one of these, and I've gone back to the HDR AS300, which this one is. So it's this camera without the 4K, and it is plenty for the filming that we do. It looks good, it works well, and it's a little bit less money. So that's what we run for action cams. We're completely Sony. All our batteries are interchangeable. We can charge them in the bike as we ride, switch them out. It doesn't matter who gets what, as long as we sort them out when we get back from the trip. I have played the game where I bought the knockoff batteries and knockoff chargers, and to a certain extent the chargers work well and the batteries will get you through. But what I've found is that if I change all the cameras, say 3 or 4 camera batteries at one time, if I have the Sony batteries in, I know exactly when they all die within pretty much the same amount of time. And that is invaluable to me. So instead of getting to the end or a stop or a rest place and finding that 2 of us still have batteries running and cameras running, and the guy who was running the cheaper battery's been dead for an hour, now when my camera goes out, I know they're all out. or when I'm down to 1 bar, I know they're all down to 1 bar. So I exclusively run the Sony batteries now. But I'll tell you, one thing that has come in very handy is the aftermarket chargers. And here's 2 different brands. It's the same idea, but it charges 2 batteries at a time in a very slim format. We started off with these ones, and that was fine, but in the tank bag, you end up with this profile, and it makes it very difficult in the tank bag to fit anything around it. Not a bad charger, and I still use it in the garage, but these ones, when we're out riding, is perfect. I have 2, one's Wasabi Power and one's Numoa, maybe? But both do exactly the same thing. I keep a hairband around it to keep the batteries in place while we're bouncing along, but they just slip in and they're charging. There's little LEDs on each side to show when they've reached charge or if they're not quite fully charged. And between these 2 with 4 batteries in rotation, I can pretty much keep up with the demands of a trip. We can film 24/7 provided I can keep up with the amount of memory cards that I need. The next big step was this camera that I'm filming on here, and that's the Sony A5100. It takes fantastic pictures, it takes really good video, it has this screen that you can move, which is handy if you're filming in front of yourself. Generally a great camera. It has a fault though, and that is that it overheats on the video side. So it's cold out here in the shop today, so I've been recording for 7 minutes and it hasn't overheated yet. But in the summer, you can expect to get about 5 minutes at a time out of this, and it needs to be turned off and back on. Sometimes it even needs to cool for a bit. But I don't use that very much for video. Occasionally out here in the shop, it works really well when I'm trying to show you guys what's going on with this stuff. But otherwise, that one's pretty much just for stills and short bursts of video. Makes things look a little different than the action cams do, so it is nice to have. But on the trips, I actually don't take it anymore. I just run my phone. So this is my last camera. Now this happens to be a Samsung S9. Nice thing about it is it's waterproof, dustproof. It's taken quite a beating. I keep it in an OtterBox, but it stood up really well. It fits nice in the RAM mounts, which are on the bike. And so this takes most of the snapshots and stuff that you see on Instagram. That's really all from this. I take them just as we ride, just quick, snap this out, take a picture. Then another thing that I bought is the Bag Smart bags for trying to keep some of this stuff in line. That's another place where the Moscow Moto Nomad bag works really handy too. It has a lot of partitions and sleeves and pockets where you can put batteries and stuff when we're riding. But when I'm filming in the shop or I'm away on a family trip, I tend to take this Bag Smart bag. It works really well. Another thing that I have on the audio side is a small Sony audio recorder. And that's all it is an audio recorder. But it records good quality audio and it's very small. I know there's a lot of better ones on the market, but the size of this is what makes it so handy. So that covers everything that I have used up until this point. But moving forward, and I'm very excited about it, is a new DJI Mavic Mini. Now, a drone is something that I have wanted to add to the collection for a while, but as you can imagine, the cost of this stuff, well, it really adds up to say the least. So it takes time to build it up, save it up, and this spring I needed another one of the Sony action cams, so that set me back a little bit. So I didn't think a drone was in the cards for this season. However, thanks to all of your support, all of the people that watch, those of you that have gone to the website, clicked the links, and headed over to Amazon to see the gear and stuff, that all adds up. Anyone that bought a t-shirt or a mug this year, all that money was saved up. And last but not least is the new Patreon account and the Patreons that I have over there. And they have really been what pushed this through to make it possible. Now, the other reason why this is possible is because this is the first DJI drone that suits my purposes. The main one being price point. This is $399 US. It's $499 if you buy the Fly More combo, which I did, which gets you the box and the guards and extra batteries and stuff. But $499 US, if you guys have been looking for drones, that's actually really reasonable. The other great thing about this is that it's so small. So it's the Mavic Mini. And as you can see, it's just tiny. It weighs 249 grams, and I think it's going to be a really nice addition to the filming for this next season. Now, I just got it now, and it's snowing outside, so there won't be much drone footage here for a while, but bear with me, and this will come out to play in the spring, and I think it's going to be a really nice addition. So that pretty much wraps up what I have as far as camera gear. It's been quite an evolution over the last 5 years, but everything works great. There's nothing I would change now. I'm absolutely 100% happy with the action cams, the phone. We're going to try out the drone. All good. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that's helpful to somebody. Like, subscribe, and share. A huge thank you again to those of you that have watched, bought us a coffee, bought a t-shirt or a mug, and certainly to those of you that have joined me over on Patreon. Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate it. Bye for now. Hey guys, if you liked that video, hit the thumbs up button for us. It goes a long way towards helping out the channel. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button in the upper corner for new videos every Sunday. Be glad to have you along for the ride.